This episode is sponsored by Tension Twisted Realities, Lincoln's original and best escape room with a bar and virtual reality too.
LinksPod, tales and entertainment for the people of Lincolnshire with John Marshall.
Welcome to episode 1 of the second series, or season, because I prefer Americanisms sometimes, of LinksPod. Thanks for all the support on season 1. 10 episodes are available for you to enjoy, so please, if you haven't, go back and have a look, or a listen, or both. It's spring, and this season will be just a little bit different. As well as the format you've seen in episodes so far, where I'm dashing all over Lincolnshire, this season I'll also get into some longer chats with people I think you'll find very interesting. Next week, for example, get ready for a great chat with Links FM legend and my mate Eddie Shaw. Today though, we're spending a fair chunk of the episode in Sleaford. You'll meet my new movie man, he's Peter Marshall. He's not related to me. He knows his stuff and he'll be popping up monthly to talk cinema and streaming. Oh, and we've recently had 2 competitions, one for a meal for 4 at the Wigan Mitre in Lincoln and another for tickets to see the amazing Illegal Eagles. Find out if you're a winner a little bit later. Let's get into it though. Welcome to LinksPod and let's meet this week's sponsor.
Hi, I'm Stuart Miller, owner of Tension Twisted Realities here in Lincoln.
How long has it been here, Stuart?
It's been here since 2016, John.
Wow, okay. And what is on offer at Tension Twisted Realities in those escape rooms for 2025?
Right, so we're going to have some expansions with rooms. We're going to add a 10th room this year, and we're going to be revamping some of the current rooms we've got.
Can you do some of the names of those places? Because I love the names of them, and it paints a picture in your mind when you hear the names as well.
Right, so we've got Victorian Inquisition, we've got Magna Carta, we've got Plague, Lancaster, Mad Money, we've got the Theatre Royal Room based on Snow White, we've got Shipwreck, and the newest one that's going to be opening is called The Last Appointment.
The Last Appointment. That's a medical themed room?
You've got it there, yeah.
Okay. Very difficult to get the last appointment, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's without a doubt. Okay, and not only have you got some amazing escape rooms, but Lincolnshire's premier escape room also offers this amazing space that we're in now, with a pool table.
With a pool table.
No less, Stuart. And virtual reality. Tell us a bit about this room.
Yeah, so down one side of the room we've got all the VR booths. We've got over 100 games and experiences on there. Like you say, we've got the pool table, we've got gaming consoles, retro machines, there's a dartboard.
And a fully licensed bar as well.
Yeah, don't forget the bar, yeah. Fully licensed, loads on offer there. We do a great range of hot food. We've just refurbed our whole kitchen.
You've got to get down here. Now, where is down here? Where are we, Stuart?
We're on Croft Street, just past the YMCA and the Archives, near the Premier Inn.
And Stuart, we've got a gig. We're putting on a gig here, a LinksPod party. Now, tell everybody about that, because we're well excited, aren't we?
We're over the moon with this. This is going to be our first combined event together and the first music gig we've done in the building. So yeah, Dan Hadfield, he did that bit on your podcast in the last series.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't he? And when we filmed that here, and
we did, yeah.
After he went, we said, we've got an idea. And we did. So, yeah, Dan Hadfield, as AKA the world's #1 Gary Barlow tribute act, is going to perform here in this amazing space on the 3rd of May, Saturday. And, well, as we speak, there's barely any tickets left.
There is, that's correct. They've flown out, haven't they?
Flown out the door. £20 a ticket. There's food available on the night. And Dan's going to do 2 sets on the evening. And we're having a charity raffle as well. Some great prizes. Say some of those.
So we've got a meal for 4 with drinks at Tortilla in town.
Yeah.
Wigan Mitre.
Wigan Mitre.
A meal, didn't they?
Yeah, they gave us a meal for 2. My friends Scouting for Girls are playing Market Raisin Racecourse in June, and they've given us a pair of tickets as well to go and see Scouting for Girls play. That's just some of the raffle prizes, and all the proceeds from the raffle will go to
the Links and Knots Air Ambulance.
They are. Me and Stuart have entered into a relationship, and the first part of that relationship happens on, well, for you to see anyway, is May the 3rd here at Tension Twister Additives on Cross Street in Lincoln. Thanks, darling.
Okay, sweetie.
Right, now let's take a trip to Sleaford. Are you peckish?
Never miss an episode of Links Pod. Subscribe now, wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm the Mesut. A lot of the people knows me as Antonio, and we are at Tablez Café Bistro in Sleaford.
Tablez Café Bistro in Sleaford. The vibe is amazing in here, first of all. It's very, well, I said it's busy, you said it's quiet.
It is quiet for a Friday.
I'm telling you, it's busy at the moment. It's only around about 11:30 in the morning. First of all, what's the cuisine and how long have you been here?
We've been probably, I would say 8 years. The cuisine is more Mediterranean twist with the pan, with English. We do sometimes with different menus with the French twist, but I would say Mediterranean with twist with English.
Okay, well, we're going to eat and enjoy some of your food in a few minutes, so people will be able to see exactly what's on offer.
I hope you will enjoy it, same like others.
And expansion plans are underway. Where are you going next?
Grantham,
Okay.
which is the new cinema.
In the cinema complex.
Yeah, it's under the on the corner.
Where is your origins? Where are you from?
Turkey.
From Turkey.
Yeah,
so
I'm Turkish.
So what's a typical Turkish dish?
Normally, I would say that the people knows the Turkish food as a just kebab meats.
Yes.
Which is completely wrong.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That kebabs is more east of the Turkey dishes. Then you go to the Black Sea side is completely different dishes. Then you go to the Mediterranean side is more fish and I would say a bit more mezes again with with the more vegan type.
Really?
Yeah.
Vegan?
Yeah. Because we a lot of the food we do cook with olive oil.
Right. Yeah.
So except the meat dishes.
Sure.
So if you may not even think, lots of the meze or the dips you get
They're vegan.
Vegan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, lots of the a different word. There is hundreds, because of the culture.
All the
dishes.
cultures have come together to form the cuisine.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Well,
Yeah.
I say let's get stuck into some of this and see
Yeah.
see what's on offer, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So this is the egg Istanbul.
Eggs Istanbul.
Yes.
Amazing. So what's that? Spicy eggs? Is that
No, this is not spicy. We got the Turkish chorizo,
right?
spinach, eggs, and then our own sauce.
Oh, that looks amazing.
The same. This is we call egg Mediterranean.
Right?
English muffin, spinach, egg, poached egg, and streaky bacon with own special sauce. We call Mediterranean sauce.
Okay. Wow. This one?
This is we call chicken Anatolia. Bit more again is the base of Turkish dish. It's spicy, and this one is we call Turkish platter, which comes with salad, tzatziki, ezme salsa, and with hummus.
How long have we got to eat this? 10 minutes?
3 minutes?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Honestly, look at this food. They brought us obviously 2 main courses each for me and Keza. The food's absolutely amazing, honestly. Everything's great. The eggs are, I love an egg when you get into the egg and it's runny. Poached eggs, they do them perfectly here. Every single egg. I think we've had 4 eggs on the platter here, and they were all perfectly cooked. So they get everything right here. If you're anywhere near Sleaford, come here and have some food. And if you anywhere not near Sleaford, still come here and have some food. It's been amazing.
LinksPod.
A few minutes' walk from Tablez Café Bistro, there's a lovely little theatre.
Well, hello, I'm Tony Gordon. This is Laura Davis, and this is Rich Dutton. We're all members of the Sleaford Little Theatre. We're all trustees and to us act, and we're trying to persuade Rich to. And this is Sleaford Playhouse, which has been here since 1828.
1828, so there's a lot of history here. And you were telling me it certainly hasn't always looked like this.
Well, it's getting back almost to what it looked like, but not quite there yet. When this building was built, there were no windows in it because it's a theatre, you don't need windows. It lasted as a theatre only for about 30 years because then a big playhouse opened up in Sleaford itself. So this one ran out of business.
Right.
And so the Church of England decided to buy it, turned it into the first primary school in the town. The reason they chose down here was because Westgate was the den of iniquity of Sleaford.
Oh!
Oh yes, we had brothels, we had all the pubs. There were about 10 pubs down this road. It's not a very big road, and a lot of places of ill repute. And the not the Catholic Church, the Methodist Church was coming down here to try and reform it. And when you go down the side roads off Westgate, they're all named after Methodist places or Methodist people. Well, the Church of England didn't like that. This is a Church of England town, so we're going to open up a primary school, and we're going to sort of stamp our place on it. So it opened up as a primary school. To do that, they put in the windows you can see around here, the top ones, because you needed light in the school, but you didn't want the parents to look through to see the children, because that would put the children off, put them off their lessons. And it lasted like that until about the 1920s. When the first sort of state primary schools opened down Church Lane. So this then closed as a primary school. And it did all sorts of things from there on. It was the Home Guard headquarters during the war. At the back there we had the old fire station was there. All sorts of other things. And then just after the war, 1947, the DSS, or whatever they were called in 1947, took it over to turn it into their offices. So they then decided they put a floor. So about where that white line is round, there was a floor put in there and more windows put in downstairs to turn it into a proper building. That went on until around 1994 when they decided to move elsewhere, all changes. And that's when the Little Theatre bought the building.
Okay.
And it took them 6 years about to turn it back into being a theatre by taking out the floor. Still had the windows in, but it was flat floor seats, and we had 2 wings going round, which were like the old-fashioned wings.
And no stage at the time?
And the stage was built at the time, yeah. So
right.
all that was built, and it took about 6 years of fundraising and a lot of work.
Wow.
Important people like George Shields and Mary Rudkin and Gary Gouge were the lights in doing that.
And you said to raise some funds, the chairs, the seating.
Well, that's when about... I can't remember when I fundraised it. It was about 6 years after we opened the theatre. We then decided we wanted tiered seating because the flat floor seating was okay, but people at the back couldn't really see, and it was noisy. And that's when we did a lot of fundraising, put this in. And at that stage, we needed to fill in some of the windows. So the side windows, which you can't see anymore because they're not there, and if you go on the outside, you can see the stones, the new stones put in.
Right, I see.
Were put in, and the building became what it is now.
And so some people have some sort of claim to a chair in
Yeah,
here?
well, part of the fundraising was we sold people's chance for people to put their names on the chairs. I think it was £25 a chair.
Wow.
And I think we sold just about every one of them.
Really?
Yeah, so there is a list somewhere.
Does anybody get any priority seating nowadays? No. Well, that's my seat.
Not even trustees.
Really?
No,
Okay.
not even the families of the actors.
Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
No.
Okay. Right. Well, that's a bit of history. Amazing history. What is your role, madam?
I'm part of the society as an actor, but I'm also on the committee as a treasurer. And going forwards, we've got quite a nice bank balance at the moment, so we are refurbing the theatre. So we've recently decorated the theatre. So this was all cream, it's now gone a dark blue and a nice white at the top, and painted all the shutters and everything. It looks really smart. We brought it right up to date. And then we've got plans to replace the stage curtains, extend the tech box at the back there to give all the tech people more room, and we're hoping to invest in more lighting and refurbishing the outside of the theatre, which you've recently been talking about, haven't you, Rich? To make that look more appealing and give it some more oomph for the general public walking past, draw them in, and making the facade look a lot nicer than it does at the moment.
Fantastic. And a new stage.
And possibly a new stage.
Oh,
yes.
Hang on, that sounds like an exclusive. Yeah.
Possibly
a new stage. Might happen. Well, it's very, like, your enthusiasm is bubbling over. Rich is going to talk about some of the events coming up, right?
Yeah, well, we're sort of coming out of hibernation from the winter. We're getting a programme of events going. First up, we've got 2 plays from our academy. That's the young actors here. They got 2 plays on at the beginning of April. And then we have external acts as well. So we've got an ABBA tribute act coming up.
Right, yeah.
That's in April. And then
always popular, though.
They are, yes. Yeah, I think that will probably be a sellout. I think the last time we had such an event it was. And then there was another event that I only just... was informed about when I was waiting for you to turn up. That's
really?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that one is. But then, because this is the home of Sleaford Little Theatre, the Amdram group, and our first play of the year is in May, which is one called Sandcastles. It was written by Bob Larby, who wrote The Good Life and
Ever-Decreasing Circles.
Ever-Decreasing Circles, yeah.
And as time goes by.
Wow,
So, yeah, it's a very funny script, very funny.
It is, yeah.
So it's going to be huge fun to do
and
that.
I'm Laura's father-in-law.
Oh, really? Are you? Okay. That's 2 cast members down. You're not tempted, Rich, to join the cast?
Yeah, something I think about. I mean, you've seen me act before.
I think I have. In a thing called The Boy from Bow. Is that right?
That was it, yeah. That was 10 years ago.
Our friend Trev Glenn wrote this thing, didn't he?
He did,
and then we put on this show. But that wasn't here, was it?
No, it was close by. It was just over at St George's School. And he had you in mind to play one of the characters, a teacher. But
did I turn him down?
You
probably demanded a fee.
Probably.
No, I know. Yeah. I don't know what it was. I can't remember that.
But
I never say no to Trev.
Well, I think there was a lot of lines on it, and you saw the script and you thought, "There's no way I'm going to learn all that."
That probably is it. I might have been busy.
Busy.
I don't know. I tell you what, acting. How the hell do you remember all those lines? Is there a technique that people use?
We don't always. I think that is the secret. We don't always.
We always remember the lines. We don't necessarily remember when we
which
say
order. Yes. That's right. Yeah.
With you. Yeah. Honestly, I'm amazed at that. When you see an actor in anything doing a long dialogue, I think, wow. What's the run up to that like? You know,
I think everybody has their own technique, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I use mental pictures and connections, and some of the stuff I use as connections of like very weird. You wouldn't want to visit my mind, but it does help you, and also where you are on the stage also helps me as well. Once we've actually blocked what we're doing, you know that you say a certain line from a certain place on the stage, and
some people have it on headphones as well, don't they? The script, read it to themselves themselves
Some
and then
people do that.
listen
My
back.
family run whenever I go towards them and say, "Can you please test
Oh,
me?"
of
And they've
course.
always got something better to do. For
Oh,
me,
really?
you know?
They're helpful then?
Yeah.
Right, oh, they really get stuck in with the spirit of
It's
things.
much easier to learn when somebody's reading the lines to you,
Yeah.
which you've got to reply to, rather than just reading a piece of paper.
Sure.
I was taught some years ago that you don't learn the words, you learn what you've got to say.
Okay.
So you're going to come in the room and you're going to talk about something. You're going to talk about dinner, you're going to talk about Fred next door, you're going to talk about the sky. And then as long as you know what you're going to say, even if you forget the exact words, you'll go somewhere which is sensible.
Yes, right, okay.
But
yeah.
you've got to know everybody else's words as well, at least the people who are on the stage with you, because sometimes they or me don't get in the right place and the other people will help out. And there's a big thing about being on stage people don't realise. It's not a solitary thing.
Sure.
You're working with all the other people and you're helping them. It's most important. And sometimes you get actors who don't, and that can be very, very difficult if they're not helping everybody else.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I think you're doing a great thing, and long may it continue. So how do people, what's the website? Can we do that? And then people can come and book some tickets for the shows.
Exactly, yeah, get on there. It's sleafordplayhouse.co.uk, and yeah, there's links to there to all our events, and get tickets for everything on there. So.
If I can get the hang of this editing, that's on the screen now while we're talking. All that information is on the screen. Imagine if that were to come true. It might. I'll see what button I press to make that happen.
And the website always gives for people a chance to join us.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Well, you need more members. You always need more members because there's turmoil. You know, some of us have to go. I mean, I'm 81, so I might not be here.
You're not 81.
I am.
He's 81.
I know.
No,
I'm
he's
very
not.
proud of the fact I'm 81.
Yeah. Good work.
So we can do with anybody. Anybody who wants to act, to direct, to work in the sound box, to do lighting, to work backstage, front of house. The more people you've got, the better.
Sure. Do you get people coming to try to act and you say you might be better off front of house?
No, you never quite say that.
We do, yeah, but we don't say it.
Brilliant.
Also, I'd just like to say we're bringing Panto back to the theatre.
Now, I've got some Panto experience. If you need anybody, do shout.
Excellent, you're in, because I'm directing it.
Oh, are you? Right, okay. That was an easy audition, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, what is it going to be?
It's going to be Mother Goose.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Amazing.
And we didn't do a traditional Panto last year. We did Alice in Wonderland, which went down really well, but we're bringing back traditional Panto.
Amazing.
So
this is the one. Pick this one then. Next December, or this December.
Yes.
Mother Goose.
Mother Goose, and it's a good one. We're in our 75th anniversary year this year as well. So it's hopefully we're going to have all bells and whistles on this Panto to finish our year off.
Brilliant.
With a bang. So
We have to say that's 75 years of the formation of the Sleaford Theatre.
Right,
We did most of those things in St George's School.
Oh, okay.
And other places until this place.
But now you've got a base, and fantastic. Long may it continue. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Links Pod.
And then it was time for the big quiz.
Start the clock. Number 1, Fletcher Christian led a mutiny on which ship?
Bounty.
Number 2, which American state was founded by English Quaker William Penn?
Pennsylvania.
Number 3, which Berkshire town has a racecourse that was established by Queen Anne in 1711?
Ascot.
Number 4, what name is given to the 102 English immigrants who sailed in the Mayflower to establish the first settlement in New England in 1602?
The Pilgrims.
1620, I must get that right.
Pilgrims, is
Pilgrim
it?
Fathers.
Pilgrim Fathers.
Number 5, whose first UK number 1 was called Heart of Glass?
Blondie.
Number 6, As It Was, a song which opens with the opening line, Holding Me Back, Gravity's Holding Me Back, was released in 2022 by who? As It Was. Oh, it's gone quiet now.
Ed Sheeran? Only because he did most of the things in 2022.
Go for it.
You go for Ed Sheeran?
Well, only because he was top of the hit parade for about 15 weeks with different songs.
He was, and that's a while since I've heard the words hit parade. Very good. 7, who bowled the super over in the 2019 Cricket World Cup, which led to England's victory?
Come on, boys.
I can picture him.
Yeah, okay.
I can't think of his name.
Board?
Feel a pass coming on.
Was it Board?
Who we go for that?
Yeah, go for ball. 'Cause it's the name,
Okay. 8. What nationality is tennis player Rafael Nadal?
Spanish.
9. What was the name of the character played by Anthony Hopkins in The Silence of the Lambs?
Hannibal Lecter.
Yes.
Yes, we're on the acting ones now. We should be doing all right. And 10. Which city does DJ Alan Partridge come from?
Norwich.
Stop the clock. I think it's gone very well. It could be one of our best ever scores
Well
here.
done, Tony.
Let's see. I'm doing the marking now. Fletcher Christian led a mutiny on the HMS Bounty. Very good. That's 1. Quaker William Penn, Pennsylvania. Correct. Berkshire Town Racecourse, Ascot. Yes.
My grandfather was a bookmaker on the course.
Oh, really? Well, you had an advantage there. I should have known this in advance. New England, 1620, the Pilgrim Fathers were on 4. 5 for Blondie.
Well done.
And then we got to music. Holding Me Back. Gravity's Holding Me Back. It's As It Was by Harry Styles.
Oh, it's the other one.
Harry Styles. The other one.
Never
Yeah.
again. Never
So
again.
still on 5. Who bowled the super over? It was Jofra Archer.
Oh, no, I don't
Yeah.
even know the name.
And I'm not even sure if I've pronounced it correctly. That's what I know about cricket. The nationality of Rafael Nadal, Spanish. Well done. The Anthony Hopkins character, Hannibal Lecter. And Alan Partridge is from Norwich.
Yeah.
Is that 8?
8.
8 points?
We didn't get the singing, modern singing and the cricketer.
As long as we beat those.
If I could have asked to phone a friend, my son would have given it straight away.
Phone a friend. We might have to introduce that. It's a bit of a lengthy process, though. I think we've only had one other 8 at time of recording on the big quiz. So, round of applause for yourselves. Very good. We'll see how we do with Cogglesford Watermill in a little while. Taking you on.
From Grimsby to Sleaford, Scunthorpe to Mablethorpe, this is Linkspod.
This episode is sponsored by Tension Twisted Realities, Lincoln's original and best escape room with a bar and virtual reality too. Right, I've got a new guest. He's going to be on regularly if he's any good. Let's see. Peter Marshall, right? How are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you, John. How are you?
I'm all right. We've got to get a plug in first because you're helping me out. So let me help you out if I can. You've got your own podcast.
I do, yes. I have a podcast called the Movie Jewel Podcast, where we select a subject based around movies, and then myself and one of my co-hosts each pick a film that we think best fits that subject.
Okay. That sounds good. It's been going for a lot longer than the Links pod.
Yeah, we've just been, we started in 2022, sort of the back end of that year, and yeah, it's been going since then. Started with a friend of mine who decided that podcasting wasn't for him, and then reached out to some internet communities and kept it going.
Wow. And your interest in movies, where does that come from, Peter?
Well, I mean, from an early age, obviously enjoying lots of films like Star Wars, Ghostbusters, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
In the mid to late 80s, getting into those kind of things. But it really, I mean, I'm a big horror fan, monster movies, things like that, and that really sort of started with my grandmother, who was, very traditional sort of grandmother, did baking and craft and things like that. But she had this insatiable love for monster movies and science fiction and things like that. So I spent a lot of time just watching films with her.
Wow. Okay. That's a good, interesting tale to tell. So you have a home cinema setup, do you? Do you enjoy them on that, or do you just watch them on some little portable TV?
Yeah, well, wherever I can watch them, really. I mean, I have got a projector. I've got quite a sort of large basement room in my house, so nice big empty walls as well to project onto.
That's nice. I have a bedroom cinema all set up.
Right.
I have, which is great. So I like to lay in bed. I've got a 65-inch telly on the wall and the Sonos surround sound.
Nice.
It's nice laid there, but it's hard to get out of bed when you've got a good film on. I lay there all the time. Right, okay, let's get to it. We're going to talk about films that are coming out in the next month.
Yes, we are indeed. So, I mean, the first cinema release this month, the big one, is the Minecraft movie.
Oh, it's there a Minecraft movie.
Minecraft
In fact, I
movie.
think I may have seen a trailer. My daughter lays in her bed a lot playing Minecraft with her friends.
Yeah, absolutely. My daughter's exactly the same. So this comes out on the 4th of April, as the title suggests. It's obviously a big screen adaptation of the Minecraft game, the biggest selling video game of all time.
Is it the biggest seller?
Biggest selling.
Is it all animated, this film?
No, it's a live action
Oh, is it?
adaptation starring Jack Black and Jason Momoa.
Okay. Now, on the face of it, sounds rubbish, but I suspect, because sometimes you think it's going to be rubbish. For example, Jumanji,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that, and yet, if you said the synopsis of it to me, I'd probably think that won't be any good. Tell me all about it.
It tells the story of, so the Minecraft movie starring Jack Black and Jason Momoa tells the story of 4 misfits who are suddenly pulled through a mysterious portal into the overworld, and there they team up with the crafter, Steve, who's the main character from the games, played by Jack Black, and they must try to reconnect with the qualities that make them uniquely creative.
Okay. I guess they build things as you do in the Minecraft game.
Yeah, well, I mean, from the trailer, it looks very much like a sort of comedy adventure. You know, some very silly sort of scenes in there, but all the characters, you know, I've sort of played this game sort of vicariously through my daughter. I've seen her playing it, and it's got all the beats there. You know, the mining, the crafting, the zombies, the animals, the creatures, and all those sorts of things. So, I mean, it's obviously a very popular game. So it's going to do well. It's going to do well.
And out in time for the Easter holiday, so I'm sure it'll fly at the cinema.
Exactly, but I mean, it does look good fun from the trailer. There's definitely some good comedy beats in there, and I suppose it just depends how it manages to craft it all into a story.
Interesting. Okay, film number 1, the Minecraft movie. Peter, what's next?
So the next, we're going away from sort of children's films, and we're going to the Penguin Lessons.
Penguin. That sounds like a children's film.
It does.
I've never heard of it. What on earth is Penguin Lessons?
So this comes out on the 18th of April.
Right.
It's based on a book by a chap called Tom Michel, and it's based on his own true story. It tells the story of Tom, who's played by Steve Coogan, and he's an English teacher in Argentina in 1979.
I love Steve Coogan, so I'm already in. Okay.
And whilst visiting the neighbouring Uruguay, he rescues a penguin from an oil slick.
Right.
And the penguin won't leave his side. So he finds that he has to take it back to his school in Argentina, and subsequently names the penguin Juan Salvador.
Okay.
The penguin begins to charm everyone he comes into contact with. And
this is not a children's film, because it sounds really like... No. I think if you say penguin to a child, the child's going to go, this sounds amazing. So
yeah, I mean, it looks to me very much like a sort of light comedy drama. It looks like it's going to be incredibly charming and very sort of feel-good film. It's from the guy who directed The Full Monty, Peter Cattaneo.
I struggle with pronunciation, Peter. Don't worry about that one bit.
But I mean, you know, he's definitely sort of flexed his acting chops outside of comedy. I think films like Philomena, so he could pull it off. I think.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good. I think when you're saying it, I think my mum will like it as well. I like to know if my mum will like films, and if she likes to cry.
Yeah, I think it's definitely looks like it's going to be that kind of audience that would enjoy it.
Fantastic. There's 2 new films for you to see this month. We've got some, is it streaming recommendations now?
Yeah, we've also got, so a couple of action films really. On Netflix on the 25th of April, we've got Havoc, which is starring Housewife's favourite Tom Hardy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hang on. Some people have just melted. The mere mention of his name. And what is Havoc then?
So Havoc tells the story of a bruised detective, played by Tom Hardy, who fights his way through criminal underworld to rescue a politician's estranged son.
Well, have you given it away then? Does he rescue the politician's?
Well,
he tries. He tries. He doesn't necessarily rescue him. I bet he does. We'll see. So that's a new film, or is it a new film to Netflix?
It's a new film and a new film to Netflix.
So it's a Netflix movie.
Netflix.
They've funded it, and because this is happening more and more, and films are not going to the cinema necessarily; they're going straight to streaming. Some of them.
Yeah.
And is that like when things used to go straight to VHS? It's not, is it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's definitely a lot more. There's a lot of money in the streaming services, especially in Netflix and Prime. And I think if maybe some studios don't have the confidence that it'll do well at the box office, then they'll put it straight to streaming because they still get instant revenue from putting it on there.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
So I think people are a lot more careful with their money these days, and most of the cinemas aren't the cheapest, so they're very cautious about which films they're going to see.
Yeah, it's got to be a difficult time for cinemas these days. I know some of them will now introduce bringing drinks to you as you sat there, and I tried that with my daughter when I'm watching them at home. Bring me a snack. She's not interested. So sometimes it's nice to go to the cinema and get spoilt. But
Absolutely.
The world has changed, definitely. Yeah. Okay, well that sounds good. Havoc. I like the sound of that one. And there's another streaming recommendation, isn't there?
Yes, so along a similar sort of vein, there's G20, which comes out on Prime Video on the 10th of April. It's an MGM Amazon exclusive. So there's an original piece for those. And this is about, stars Viola Davis, Oscar-winning actress, plays the US president who must defend her family, fellow leaders and the world against terrorists that take over the G20 summit in Cape Town, South Africa.
Okay, this sounds a bit more. This doesn't sound like my mum's sort of thing. There's no penguins in it.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, it looks very reminiscent of a 90s film called Air Force One, starring Harrison Ford.
Oh, yeah.
It looks very much of that same sort of vein, but it does look quite interesting.
That's interesting.
I mean,
tell me the name of it again.
G20.
And you got a couple of older recommendations as well.
Yes, so along the similar veins of the Minecraft movie that's coming out this month, a film that's just dropped back onto Netflix, or dropped onto Netflix for the first time, the Super Mario Brothers movie from 2023.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
Which, history has sort of told us in the cinema world that video game adaptations are generally not the best, but this one's a brilliant one.
Oh, is it? I haven't seen it.
It's a whole lot of fun. It's not too long as well, and if you're a classic gamer and you played Nintendo back in the 90s, then it's got all the beats there for you and all the little nods to the older games.
Oh,
and
I like
the entire history of the franchise as well.
Oh, okay. Because, there's the young people these days playing that game, and there's people who remember playing those games from years ago. So there's a big market for it. Yeah. Like Super Mario. Right, cool. And another one?
Another one is an all-time classic, really, from 1986, Stand By Me, Rob Reiner's classic coming-of-age drama.
Oh, yeah.
Based on the Stephen King short story, where four friends, hear a rumour of a dead body in the woods and set off on an adventure to see if it's true.
What year is this from? Do you remember?
86.
86. See, I have a bad memory, and I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen Stand By Me. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I'd have to watch it. How far these days do I get into a film before I think I've already seen this? Probably three-quarters of the way in.
I know.
And I think, I'll remember this bit. I've seen this. I'll have a look. Stand By Me. So just do a recap. All the films you've mentioned today, if you could.
Okay, so we've got the Minecraft movie, Penguin Lessons, that are out in the cinema. And then we've got Havoc and G20 that are going to be available on streaming, as well as Super Mario Brothers and Stand By Me.
Fantastic. That's Peter. He's good, isn't he? We'll see you again, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Never miss an episode of Links Pod. Subscribe now, wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Links Pod, the podcast for Lincolnshire, and I'm John Marshall. If you've got a business you'd love to shout about on the Links Pod, please do get in touch. I'm john@linkspod.co.uk, and I can only keep this going if the sponsors keep coming in. There are now three ways for you to get involved. Full episode sponsorship gets your business 3 mentions within the episode, plus featured content and inclusion on all social media about that episode. Feature sponsorship gets the sort of exposure you saw moments ago at Tablez Café Bistro in Sleaford. And finally, running a short ad. Instead of me explaining what they are, here comes one right now. For authentic Italian cuisine, head to Montebello Ristorante in Horncastle and Louth. From antipasti, calamari and bruschetta to pastas, risottos, pizzas, meat and fish, Montebello Ristorante has something for everyone, from couples to family occasions. Montebello Ristorante. We're not a chain, we're a family. North Street, Horncastle and Upgate, Louth. Now on Linkspod, let's head back to Sleaford and we're going milling.
Linkspod.
You are in Cogglesford Watermill in Sleaford, and my name's Annie.
Yes, right, well, that's enough information for now. Annie, tell us a little bit. We're going to have a tour in a minute with a chap called Andy.
You are?
Who's very camera shy, but we've talked him round on that, haven't we? A little bit about the history of the Cogglesford Watermill then. What on earth is it?
Well, we're still a working watermill. It's been here a long, long time, this place. So basically, it dates back to the Domesday Book. Obviously not this particular building that we're in at the minute. We date this to 250, 300 years old. But the site itself is really, really historic. Right. And we were named in the Domesday Book as the Sheriff's Mill. So if you ever hear us referred to as a Sheriff's Mill, that basically means we were owned by the Bishop of Lincoln.
All right.
Which meant that a lot of the local farmers were obliged to use this place to come and grind a proportion of their wheat, or whatever they'd like to be ground, usually wheat.
They had to mill their wheat.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so there were a lot of watermills at the time. There were 18 at one point along this stretch of the River Slee, which is quite surprising because it's only 13 miles long. So 18 watermills is a massive amount. But this one was the most important. And purely because it was owned by the bishop, a lot of the farmers, if any of the others were full, they had to come here next, or they'd have to set aside some to be milled here. Oh. Which is why we think it's still here and still working, is because it was so well used, maintained, working all the time.
Oh, okay. And you have events on here through the year, and there's a cafe. We must plug everything.
Yeah, we do. Thank you.
Yeah.
We do events. We've got a brilliant volunteer called Celia, and she plans lots of family events. So we have things like we've done World Chocolate Day, we have baking days, photography workshops, things like that, because it's in such a lovely area, so there's a lot to do.
So you come and do those things, and then you wander off with some flour that was actually milled here.
You do indeed, yeah.
Wow, okay, so it's all here. And what's downstairs? I saw some honey and some what healing items. Is that what they are?
Yeah, we've got a really lovely little gift shop. So what we try and do in the gift shop, we've got a few little souvenirs, with our name on. We use as local as we possibly can, so we try and showcase local producers. So we've got a lady called Angela. She's got a company called Village Bee, so she does all different honey products.
Right.
And the herbal remedies and teas.
That's what I meant. That's the wording I meant to use, but I just said things that fix you or something. I don't know what I said. But anyway, we're okay. We're okay. Andy is our tour guide. Do your thing, Andy. Tell me about the Cogglesford Watermill.
Right. Well, first of all, welcome to Cogglesford Watermill. Behind you here is the mill. You can see two distinctive patterns here. Up to halfway was the original mill built in the 1740s, 1750s, we're not sure the exact date. Above that, the different brick pattern was the addition put in 1825, which was coming up to the heyday of the mill when it was really built, really busy, and that was built as a storage room for the grain.
Oh, okay.
The river comes down here through the grating. You cannot see the wheel from here. It's built inside. Not unique, but quite unusual.
Okay.
We don't know why, but it is. So many of our visitors walk up towards us and say, "You're not a watermill," expecting to see a watermill. But we have got one.
It's hidden away.
And it's hidden away.
We're going to find it. We'll find it.
You've just entered the main part of the mill building. Up until recently, we thought this part was built in 1771, but we now have evidence that indicates perhaps a little longer, possibly 1820s, 1840s.
Wow.
All the history of the mill are on those boards that you see behind you. The Domesday Book, 1086, does say that there were 18 mills along the stretch of water. We're not actually named, but it's almost certain that we were one of them.
Okay.
Because in 1128, we are mentioned as a mill here. The land was owned by the Bishop of Lincoln, and he kept good records. So, on visiting the mill, we get sacks of grain from a local farm. It comes straight off the fields, nothing is added. We just stone grind the grain.
Right.
Nothing is added, nothing is taken away. We take the grain in sacks on a chain and pulley system to the top of the building, where it is put in hoppers and then it gravity feeds down into the millstones.
Oh wow, we need to see that, Andy.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're now on the stone floor. We have two sets of stones. This one behind me, these are called French bore stones. They are a smallish stone which are packed in plaster and then banded.
Right.
And we use these because we can adjust the fineness and the consistency of the flour we make. So we can either make rough wholemeal, which we then put through another machine to get white flour, or we can make fine wholemeal. Over here are Derbyshire grit stones. These are the stones you normally associate with the mill.
Right.
The huge big things you see lying on the side of the road up in the Derbyshire Dales. They are used for making good quality fine wholemeal, which we sell for baking purposes. This big wheel you see here, called the spar wheel,
which, by the way, I'm not allowed anywhere near because, yeah, it could have my head off that.
very easy to.
Yeah.
It's driven off the main shaft, which is driven by the wheel. To connect either set of stones, I will have to move here. We move this small cog into the big wheel.
Right.
Which means that we can get the stones
Yeah.
to turn much faster.
Yeah.
Here we have the wheat as is grown in the field, and that is obviously thrashed. It gets put in a sack, and that is how we get it, wheat. And that comes here, and that goes upstairs and trickles down through the stones. And what that produces is wholemeal, which is, that one's quite rough, but we can make it finer if we wish. We then put it through a machine called the bolter, which is the machine behind you. If you'd like to come this way, this is purely a demonstration model.
But this is how we get white flour.
But this is how we get white flour.
Uh-huh.
We put the wholemeal in here. It goes through, which is basically a sieve with brushes inside it. Very small holes here, larger holes there. So as it goes round, the white flour comes out there, and the bran, which is the kernel, the outside, comes down there, and we'll have a sack in each place.
Sure. So you sell the bran as well, do you?
We give the bran away.
Do you?
We give the bran away for free. There is not really a market for bran.
Have you heard of bran flakes?
No, it's just little tiny
Well,
little...
can't you turn it into that?
No, we haven't got the machinery to do
Right.
that.
Okay. Well, Kellogg's will probably take it off you.
So we're not a commercial mill. We are a heritage museum.
From the Humber to the Wash. Linkspod with John Marshall.
And then the Cogglesford Watermill team assembled for round 2 of the big quiz.
On your marks, get set, start the clock. Number 1, which coastal village in Cornwall has the ruins of a castle reputed to be the court of King Arthur?
Tintagel.
Number 2, which Swiss ski resort is famous for the Cresta Run?
Clusters.
Number 3, which alcoholic drink distilled from the agave plant is named after a town in Mexico?
Tequila.
Ooh. 4. No messing on the alcohol one, was there? On which Channel Island is St. Peter Port?
Guernsey.
Number 5. What colour was Bomballerina's teeny weeny polka dot bikini?
Yellow.
Oh. Number 6. What single of 2016 gave Zayn Malik his first solo number 1? Oh, that's difficult.
You're the youngest.
It's because of your striking resemblance to Zayn Malik. I think that's why they've asked you. Number 7. Is that a pass, by the way?
Memories.
Oh, memories. Seems you've got a bad one. 7. In which city will you find Recreation Ground Rugby Stadium, commonly known as the Rec? No questions about milling so far. Number 8. By what name was the triple jump in athletics previously known?
Hop, skip and jump.
Hop, skip and jump.
Number 9, in Coronation Street, it's nearly all over, don't worry. In Coronation Street in 2019, a confession from Duncan Radfield allowed the release of which popular character from prison?
Was it Deirdre? Free Deirdre?
Was it? Number 10,
Oh no.
in the famous Monty Python Flying Circus sketch, what was a Norwegian blue?
Parrot.
Stop the clock, now we do the marking and see if you've beaten 8 set by the Sleaford playgoers. Well, let's see. The coastal village, Tintagel.
Hey.
Swiss ski resort, St. Moritz. 3, the alcoholic drink, straight in there, weren't you, with tequila. You had a shot at that, yes. Number 4, the Channel Islands, St. Peter's Port, Guernsey. Well done. Bomballerina's polka dot bikini was yellow.
Yes,
Much like the one I've got on under my outfit. Number Zayn Malik, it wasn't memories, I'm afraid, it was pillow talk. 7, the recreation ground is in Bath. Yeah. 8, the triple jump Andy did get for us was hop, skip and jump. Number 9, Coronation Street. Now, it wasn't Deirdre. No. Sally Webster was released from prison.
Sorry.
And Monty Python's Flying Circus, it was a parrot. So 1, 2, did it 6? If you counted them up. Oh, that saved me a job. 6 points. Give yourselves a round of applause. It was a good effort.
Well done, everybody.
Excellent.
Well done.
Links Pod with John Marshall.
OK, now, one more stop on our Sleaford trip. We're just up the road from Sleaford, actually, where we found a very impressive erection.
Oh, I'm David Pullen. I'm a volunteer miller and engineer at Heckington Windmill.
Where is that? Oh, here it is.
Yes.
Yeah, here it is. I thought that was something of note. So how long has the mill been here, mate?
Well, the 8-sail version of it has been here since about 1890, but there was a mill before that.
Was there?
Yeah.
And it's still a working mill, is it?
It is in theory. At the moment it's out of action because of some storm damage in, I think it was about 2018.
I was hoping that would happen. Yeah. Was that a terror attack?
Solar panels being fitted.
Solar panels, environmentally friendly they are.
Absolutely, yeah. We're bang up to date here, you know. Although that's 1890, we've got modern tech there.
Oh, yeah, from one extreme to the other, isn't it? Yeah, the old windmill.
Yeah.
And anyway, what's your interest in the windmill? How come you're here? Now, have you been here for years?
No, I've been a volunteer here for just about 2.5 years now, I think. My main interest really is the flour and the wheat, because my career was in agriculture in Lincolnshire, but it was all to do with the wheat that farmers grew for animal feed mainly. And this is concentrating on obviously flour production from mostly wheat, but some other things as well.
And you are responsible for that milling?
Yes, we mill to demand at the moment, and the demand is increasing quite rapidly. So people are going for healthier and healthier flours. And so we do wholemeal flour for brown bread. We do spelt, which is an old-fashioned wheat, which has apparently got health benefits.
Right, okay.
And we do rye, which is for people who've got a gluten intolerance.
Oh yes, of course.
Because that seems to be an increasing thing.
Yeah.
We've only been doing rye for about 6 months, and already it's beginning to be very popular. Yeah.
And where are the products available? Just here, or in any shops?
No, just here.
Right. So if you want it, you've got to come and get it.
That's
from
right.
Heckington Windmill. Right.
Yeah, and what it's turning out is that about 2 or 3 years ago, we were just selling the flour to visitors to the mill. Now we've got customers, people who come here especially for the flour.
Okay.
Which is taking us to another level, because we're having to mill much more often now than we used to.
Oh, good. And you've got a lot of events coming up this year, I hear.
Yes, there's most first Saturdays we mill during the summer, not during the winter. And that's free. But this coming Saturday, we've got an exhibition of stationary engines as well. because in that shed there, it's like a workshop. It's a big man cave.
Oh, okay.
There's various...
Are you at home in a man cave? Do you like a man cave?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he loves a man cave. You can't get enough of them. So that's here, and spread out around here, do they? All the exhibitors? Right.
Yeah, mostly in the front of the mill, that side, because obviously this is grass.
Yeah.
And on a day like that, this car park is full, so we can't be out there.
I see. Oh, it's a great place, and long may it continue, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing us around.
Okay, you're welcome.
Links Pod.
Time to give away some prizes now. On the first season of Links Pod, some great competitions were launched. One was to see the Illegal Eagles at either Lincoln or Doncaster, and the other one was a meal for 4 at the Wigan Mitre in Lincoln, where I host a quiz on a Tuesday. Now, here's the winners. Great show, John. The song that you were looking for the Illegal Eagles competition was Doolin Dalton from the Desperado album. Please enter me for the Doncaster show tickets. This is Kelvin Rowlett or Kelvin Rollett. One of those is the way you pronounce Kelvin's name. Kelvin, you're a winner and you're off to the Doncaster show. Another one, here's the one for Lincoln. The Eagles song you were attempting to sing, thanks a lot, was Doolin Dalton, says Linda Newton, and you will be going to the New Theatre Royal in Lincoln to see the wonderful Illegal Eagles in May. The Wigan Mitre in Lincoln, right, yeah, 4 burgers and a bottle of wine with free entry to the quiz, which is on each and every Tuesday, hosted by me. And the winner is Dave Shillham. Now, he comes along to the quiz as it stands, actually, but he wrote me this brilliant email, so I had to award the prize to him. Hello, John, he says. I'm Dave from the quiz team, The Rebels. Here is why I think we should win this prize. We've been coming to the Wigan Mitre quiz for a long, long time. Blah, 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 blah. On and on he goes. Anyway, Dave, you are the winner of a meal for 4 and wine at the Wigan Mitre quiz on a Tuesday night in the Bailgate area of Lincoln. Congratulations, Dave.
From Grimsby to Sleaford, Scunthorpe to Mablethorpe, this is Links Pod.
And that's it for this episode of the Links Pod. Of course, thanks so much to Keza on camera and all the contributors. Stuart at Tension Twisted Realities in Lincoln for sponsoring me, and especially you if you've watched or listened. Please do remember to hit subscribe, follow, like, the notification bell and all those things. It really does help me out, and it's free for you to do that. And please share the Links Pod with all your friends. Share the Links Pod with people who aren't your friends. Just share it, please. Thanks. I'll catch you next week.
Links Pod. Never miss an episode. Subscribe now, wherever you get your podcasts.